Conservative new media viewers, what's going on? It's me, John D. Villarreal, the four-time national champion, the super genius, and the MMA expert. And I'm still talking and thinking about UFC 165. And I went to sleep last night, and when I woke up, I'm still thinking about it in my brain. And I think Gustafsson won, but at the same time, it was like an incredible fight, dude. And I have had a number of reaction videos to the fight, right after the fight, and everything like that. And if you haven't seen those, you might want to check those out. But here in this video, I'm going to give another reason why I think Alexander Gustafsson won. At the same time, I've said it before, I'll say it again. I think it's a great fight. I think it was a close fight, and I can't really fault someone if they, however they had it, if they had it close, okay? But here's something, but I definitely, in my personal opinion, believe that Gustafsson won, and I think that, that if anything, it should have been a draw. But again, I believe that Gustafsson won. But I can understand, depending on how you wanted to score certain things, where I can see where you could go with Jones. And I don't want to rehash all that again, but I'll just give a summary of it. I think that Gustafsson won rounds 1 and 3, and if you say 2 and 5 are close, if you give him either one of those, you give him one of those rounds and he won, basically, okay. And I have another theory that I'm going to drop on you here in a second, but just stay with me. But that's basically the gist of it. I mean, a lot of people that I've seen want to give Gustafsson round 2, and a lot of people seem to give Jones round 5. But listen, Gustafsson came out strong in round 5, and I thought he was really hitting Jones with some good shots, good body shots, good jab, good rights and lefts and stuff like that. And I think he was doing some good stuff. I mean, Jones had that takedown, but it was like the weakest, nothingest takedown, really, in the fight, certainly. I mean, Gustafsson's takedown was way more definitive than Jones's takedown, in my opinion. But I don't think either one of them did a whole lot with either one of those takedowns. But in terms of a takedown, so in any event, but I give Jones credit. He closed stronger, in round 5. But it felt like he was a little bit more stealing the round. I think that in my opinion, first of all, my personal opinion, only not alleging facts, not casting aspersions for any team purpose only. Please check disclaimers. But listen, I've already dealt on those things, and we can keep talking about those. But I'm just bringing a refresher if for those viewers who haven't seen my other videos, and go see those videos. Right now, I'm going to drop on you one more reason that's very critical in my opinion, and you need to just think about this, okay? Here's the thing. A lot of people have said that Alexander Gustafsson was winning round 4 strong before he got stung by that elbow. And I think that Alexander Gustafsson was winning round 4 before he got hurt by Jones, stuff like that, in that 4th round with that spinning elbow, and then Jones following up with the knees and all that type of stuff. So I absolutely believe that Jones won round 4. I don't disagree with that. But think about that. If you buy what I've just said, think about that, right? Because what we're saying is that, Jones basically won round 4 on damage, okay? That he stung and damaged Gustafsson more. In other words, if you just were looking at that round in and of itself, who would you have rather have been in that round, Gustafsson or Jones? And I would say, coming out at finishing the round, Jones, because he put, he had Gustafsson a little bit stung. He put the heavier damage on. Fine, I agree with that. Now let's think about this. A lot of people say, oh, look at this, if you look at the stats, okay, Jones maybe outstruck Gustafsson a little bit and this and that, whatever. Well, think about the quality of Jones's strikes. Okay, like over 50 of his strikes, almost 40% of his strikes were kicks. Now, some of those were, head kicks, some of those were strong kicks. A good bit of those were just little dinky, like leg jabs, if you will. And how effective were they? Gustafsson was still moving around, he was still doing his thing. He still showed better movement than Jones up until the end. I thought he was a little, Gustafsson was a little bit tired, and we talked about the conditioning and everything like that. But so in other words, if you're going off of who did damage, if you combine the fact that Jones A was busted up, in my personal opinion, B had to go to the hospital, and C, almost 40% of his strikes were kicks. And I'm not saying that you shouldn't count kicks and anything like that, but I'm just saying if you're looking at damaging strikes, whose strikes did the damage. Okay, and again, if you say like Jones really did some stuff over there in round 4 that maybe a lot of his effective striking was a little bit more concentrated in round 4, I think all those reasons combine to add up to another strong argument for why, in my personal opinion, I believe that Alexander Gustafsson won this fight. Okay. And that's what I'm saying right there. So, I mean, if you're doing sort of, the quote-unquote point fighting, Forrest Griffin, Frankie Edgar style, moving in and out, just doing the little low leg kick jab, stuff like that, yeah, it counts. I'm not saying it doesn't count. I'm not saying it doesn't, factor into consideration. But I mean, that's what I'm saying. You can't have it both ways. You can't say, oh, hey, Jones won round 4 because of the damage he put on Gustafsson, and he hit him with some good shots. He didn't drop Gustafsson. Okay, you know what I'm saying? It's not like he knocked him out or anything, or knocked him down with a strike and stuff like that. And, if I'm remembering correctly, in my personal opinion. And but you're giving him the round because you thought that he was putting more damage on. I'm with you on that. But then at the same time, if you're saying that you're going to basically take a round that many people think that Gustafsson was winning up until he got stung, because you're saying that Jones had the stronger, more effective striking, you're basically judging damage. Then why aren't you judging damage for the rest of the fight? Why aren't you saying that the dude that went to the hospital maybe didn't win the fight? Why aren't you saying the dude that was busted up maybe didn't win the fight? Well, I mean, that's what I'm talking about right now. That's another thing. I've seen polls that think that where the fans were reacting and they felt like Gustafsson won. I've seen professional MMA fighters that comments on tweeting will look like the majority of those folks felt like Gustafsson won, and I'm putting another argument out there for why I believe that Gustafsson won. At the same time, it was a great fight, and I want to see it again, and I want to see the rematch, and it's just an incredible thing. But I think Jones has to be very worried in a rematch, because I think Gustafsson is going to be fired up, and if they do the rematch in Sweden, oh my goodness, could that just raise the firepower of Gustafsson to the next level, having all those fans behind him? It's a lot to talk about here, but what do you think about that argument, which is this? If you're giving Jon Jones round 4 based upon damage that he did in terms of the strength of the striking and the damage that he put on Gustafsson, then why aren't you also scoring the rest of the fight that way? And therefore, if you do that based upon who did the most damage in the fight, who basically beat the other person up more, I think you have to give it to Alexander Gustafsson. You see what I'm saying? You let me know what you think about that. Give me the comments below. Please subscribe. Please rate this video up. Also, please post it on your social networking sites. Thanks so much for watching. I'm John D. Villarreal, the 4-time national champion and the Super G's and the MMA Expert. Hold on for a second, because I'll just say this one more time. Because I don't think that Jon Jones really did hardly, serious significant damage. I mean, in other words, I think the majority of the damage that Jon Jones did to Gustafsson was in that 4th round, and the rest of the rounds, and even in that 4th round, I think Gustafsson was doing significant damage to Jon Jones, and I think Jones' trip to the hospital and his face was sort of evidence that, in my personal opinion. What do you think about that? Let me know what you think. Thanks for watching. I'm JDV. I'll see you next time.